Hello friends, you're back again with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing American Megafauna. Well, Dogface, this guy, he turned out to be a evolutionary misfit. So he was extinct, and yeah, I was a little unlucky in the last game of American Megafauna, and I couldn't show you a lot here because basically I didn't gain any genes, so I couldn't buy any DNA counters, and I couldn't buy any genotypes, so it was a little boring game. So now I'm gonna give it another shot, and this time I will take this guy here. It's Proto-Croc, and we got here the ruling reptile split between the dinosaur line, such as Dino-Croc, and the crocodile line, such as Proto-Croc, occurred early in the Triassic. So, yeah, the goal is to survive until today, and first we have to construct our world. I've already explained that this map doesn't matter at all, actually, so it's just for the feeling it looks a little better. And we start here, and that's a bad start. It's the Cordilleran ice sheet, and this is bad because you cannot live on an ice sheet. So we have to play this here at the top, and then we go on. Oh man, that's a problem. That's another ice cup, but one of my house rules is more than one ice sheet is not allowed in the starting map, because in my opinion that makes it too hard. So I simply draw the next one, and that is now the cycad trees. And it has a B and a G, so you need browns and grays to be able to live there. Okay. Now let's go on. Here we have tropical rainforest, and that is good. That has no special requirements, so we can live in this environment. And the next one is the lycopod coal swamp. You need 3 times browse here, otherwise you can't live here. So it would be good to have at least a second biome where I can live without any requirements. So let's see. Nope. The lichen tundra. Twice a G. Okay. So, well, let's see. That's not the best start, actually. I don't want to start a third game, to be honest. So, this is now our archetype, the Proto-Croc, and we can only place him here. And, well, let's start in the Triassic with our first card. That is the first gene. It's a digitigrade sprinting. Fused bone. That's an S, and that is swiftness. Actually, I think I will buy this because that could allow me, in case that an intruder enters here on my biome, and the risk is pretty high actually, then this could allow me to become a carnivore, and I could maybe eat this intruder. So I will pay 3 genes, and well, that's it. I can't express this card right away, simply because I need at least a size of 2 to do that. So I have to grow first. And that's what we can do now. So we grow now, have a size of 2. Remember, we can only grow or shrink 1 per round. Population expansion. So I will simply place another one here. And now it's actually full, can only support 2 creatures. And there is no migration and no culls, so that's basically it now. Okay, let's see what the next card brings. Okay, here we have our first intruder. An immigrant. And this is, let me see, yeah, this is this one here, the Diapsid, oh man, Tyracophra, a pliosaurus. So this guy is a completely maritime, completely marine being, so it can't live here anywhere because of this double M. So it won't enter the map. The big problem is now there is a genetic drift here. And that simply means that I have to discard 1 gene from my hand, or 1 DNA card from my hand. So I simply lose this. That's why it is dangerous to keep these cards on your hand. And okay, very bad start actually, very bad start. So okay, let's go on. Next card. And that is a catastrophe. That can be now good or bad. We will know. If we survive, it's good. And we have to take the one from the Mesozoic. It's this one here. And this is the Siberian traps. Global volcanic gases. Okay. Greenhouse goes up. And then we have a continental bridge that would flood. But in the solitaire game, these continental bridges don't matter. The good thing is we get 5 genes. Because these catastrophes always give you new chances to develop new life. So that's a very good thing. 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. And then the greenhouse goes up. Let me see what that means. Okay, and what we got to do now is we have to flood this lichen tundra because it's the most, it's the one which is most in the south. And we take the starburst biome, these biomes here with these stars, and this is the lowest climax. It's only a 6, so we take that and we place this here now. Primitive ray fin fish. Okay. In addition, we have to remove this ice sheet. And that is good. That gives now free space for another biome. So if we draw another biome, we could place that here instead. Normally it works like this. If you have to place an ice sheet for some reason, normally if the greenhouse goes down, then you simply place it above the biome that was there before. And then if the greenhouse goes up again, you simply remove that ice sheet. But in this case, there is no ice sheet. There is nothing underneath the ice sheet, so it's simply a free space for future biomes. So that was good. Siberian traps was good for the proto-croc in this case. And we go on, and here we have another gene. Spines or Molodorus spray. Well, that is hard to say. Actually, it's not a bad thing. Because it gives us 2 armor. Problem is, I can only use this with a size of 1. And I don't think this is good, so I won't buy this. I'll take that risk. It's really a little risky what I'm doing, because if there is an intruder on this biome, I'm in trouble actually. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grow a little more. And, well, that's it then. And then I draw the next card, and let's hope for the best. This is not bad. Web feet. Natatorial. That is good. I will buy this, because then I can live in this biome down here. Ganoid Paleonycids, primitive ray fin fish. You need 1 M, and I have 1. So that's definitely a good thing. I buy 3, I spend 3 genes. To buy the web feet, and then I can place them here on this space, the limbs, and because it's only 1 M, I'm still allowed to live here on the land. With 2 M, you have to live in the water, but this is something between, so you don't have to, you're not allowed here with 2 M, but you need 1 M. And actually it's a little thematic. This guy seems to have these web feet, so it's not too bad. Okay, and now I'm thinking actually about growing a little more. I'm not sure if I should do this. Maybe I will. Why not? On these biomes here and there, size matters. So from time to time it can be useful to be bigger. But 4 is not too big. If you are too big, many of these DNA, you cannot use many of them anymore, because they only go up to a size of 4 or 5. So, but I guess 4 is okay. And now we actually have the population expansion. So I can now place 1 additional creature here. In the last video I often made this error that I placed 2 creatures there, that I simply doubled the creatures. This is not correct. I only can place one creature no matter how many creatures were there before. And then we come to the herbivore migrations. And if I'm bigger than, if I have a size of 3 or bigger, I'm allowed to move 2 spaces. So now I can move to this, which is a good thing. Okay. So yeah, we're done with this now. Okay, let's see what we got here. That's a new biome. And this is not really good. So first I get a gene. This is good. Oh, actually it's not bad, because I thought as a new biome it would be placed on the lowest climax biome, which would be, actually it would be this one with a 2. But because there is this free space up there, I can simply place it in the far north, this maple hackberry woodland. Okay. So, we made it through the Triassic. It's still a long way to go, and I'm not over optimistic, to be honest. On the other hand, I mean, okay, I only can live on 2 of these biomes. But the good thing is, this time I have more money. I have 5 genes left, even though I lost 1 DNA. And that keeps me confident that I might have a chance to survive the next turns. So let's see what happens now. We start with the Jurassic. And, well, that's DNA, guts, fur, M and P, size 1 to 6. It's interesting. If I would place this now here, I would have 2M. So that would mean I'm simply a marine creature now, and I could do this. I could not do this here because there is no marine environment. I could theoretically recess this gene or this DNA and then instead place that one. That would give me in addition this physiology behavior, but I don't think it's worth it. So let's draw the next card. And that's another catastrophe. Let's see. Let's hope for the best here. Oh man. We're still in the Mesozoic, I think. Here. And that says Cordilleran tectonics. Kula and Cantabria bridges. Clears if flooded, floods if clear. Okay, well basically that doesn't matter at all. We simply get these 5 genes, which is awesome. So now we're doing really fine. You need these catastrophes from time to time. They can be devastating, but normally at the beginning they always give you kind of an evolutionary boost. They really help you to develop your DNA and your creatures. And this is now the polar forest. And that means first we gain another gene. because it's written here, 1 gene. And now we have to place this somewhere above the lowest one, which is this one here. This lycopod coal swamp goes away now, and instead we have the polar forest. So it would be really a good thing to get something that allows us to browse, because then we could live here, and we also need these to live here or there. So that would be helpful now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do here in the population expansion phase, I will place an additional proto-croc here. Okay, fine. And then we draw the next card. Okay. This is Anguligrade hoof, gallop length, non-rotatable shank. That would give us 2S. The problem is actually it recesses all M cards. So if we now would express this card, then we could not live longer here on this marine environment. So I won't do that. The next card is... Okay, that is good. That is interesting now. This is a new genotype, and this time I have the money actually to buy this thing. So I can take now these kind of birds, these flightless neorniths. Oh man, please don't ask me to do this. Struthionithiforms and gruiforms, rarities. Okay, I have to pay 3 for this new genotype. Okay, note that we're not allowed to express this card right now because the proto-croc is actually, well, kind of the parent of this guy here. And it has to be the same size. So this is only allowed to have a size from 1 to 3, but the proto-croc has a size of 4 right now. So we have to shrink in this turn to be allowed to express this card. So let's hope we don't draw again one of these genetic drifts, otherwise we have to remove this card from the game. Okay, so now I adjust my size again, so I go back here to a size of 3. And that's it then. Let's draw the next card. Okay. Well, that is a seed-cracking bill. Conical beak with internal husking ridges. Okay, that is actually something special. There is this H here. That means husker. So normally you are a herbivore, and then you can simply eat what the biomes give you. You can be a carnivore, and then you are placed above this biome somewhere here, and you can eat these creatures, these herbivores, which are living in the biome. But there is this third option actually. Some biomes, like this here, have this little symbol here. You see that underneath the 2, or up here. And these biomes allow you to live there if you are a husker, even if you don't fulfill any of the other requirements. So that could be actually an interesting idea to buy this thing and then simply to shrink again and well, to go on these husker biomes. There are 3 right now, so why not? Okay, I will do this actually. I got enough money to try this, and it's an interesting idea, I think. So I will buy this, and well, then I'm allowed to express a card, and I will express now this genotype here. This is now my genotype B, and it has to have the same size as its parent, the protocroc, so I start here with size number 3. And now, as you can see, compared to the protocroc, we start with 3 DNA, A, G, and S, which is armor piercing, grace, and swiftness. And well, this protocroc has nothing special, only this marine gene, the web feet. And now, in addition to this, we can inherit the genes that the protocroc gained when we form this new genotype. So that simply means now we take one marine DNA. I'm always confusing DNA with genes. Let me see. Okay, so we have now here this marine gene, and now we actually were able to start with this creature, which is much higher evolved than our protocroc. And let's see, we need now a marker for that creature. Okay, and then I have to replace one-tenth of these parental creatures, 1/10 of the protocroc. I have to replace that, and I will place the raditus here now. And as you can see, there's a pretty nice tent for this creature here. Okay, if you ask yourself why I'm placing it down here and not up there, more in the center, I have an answer for that, and this answer is called Milankovitch P. It's now triggered, and that means now the perihelion summer. The land gets drier. Terrestrial biomes with rain shrink 1. And the problem now is this biome actually has rain, so it shrinks 1. So now it can only support 1 creature. And that would mean that even the protocroc or the what's the name of it? The rarities couldn't live here anymore. And I didn't want that to happen. Okay, and well, then we come to this then I can adjust trophic and size. And now I will shrink with the Protocroc down to size 2. And my idea is to shrink with them to size 1 and then go up here and try to eat this stuff as a husker. Okay, and now what happens is one of these creatures dies because the land has gone drier. Now we draw the next card, and we have a new biome here, and that is oak and beech woodland. Beak woodland. And again we have this husker possibility here. So first we gain a new gene, and now we might get a problem. This is a 6 here. Oh man, that's bad. I was too optimistic. I think this species gets extinct right away. Oh no, we're lucky. There is an A required here. Armor piercing. And luckily we have this. So that was really lucky. So now actually this primitive rayfin fish, they go away, and we have this instead. Okay, so and then we can shrink one more here. We have now a size of 1. And let me see. So now we could think about a population expansion, and actually I will do this because this guy will die anyway here. He can't survive in this environment. So I will place another of these, well, another of these birds here. Okay, now thanks to the internet I know now how this is pronounced. It's called ratites. And yeah, we need some, oh, let me see. Exactly. So that's how they look. You have to cut them with scissors, and then you have to, like this. Yeah, fine. Okay, so let's place them here. And then let's see if we can migrate. I don't think that makes any sense here. And yeah, so there is no migration. And then this guy is dying because here you need this armor piercing ability, and he doesn't have that, only he has that. Okay, so the next card is now another DNA. pouch brooding. And that gives me a P. Predators of this genotype must be as large as this genotype. Okay. I'm wondering if I should buy this. Actually, I think it's not so bad. We can use this here. That will allow us to fill the niche here. And that's not a bad thing. On the other hand, if the greenhouse goes up, this area is flooded. Still, I think I will try it. Why not? Well, it's hard to say. Okay, actually, I now realize I have this M. So it's not such a big deal. I can risk this. I can simply buy this for 3 genes. And then I can express this card. Pouch brooding. And it's the guts. It's this one here. So we have to place this here. And now, if there would be an intruder and we have to compete with this guy, then we fill the niche. And if he doesn't, we win. So that would be good. Furthermore, we can express now this card, because now we have a size of 1. And now the Protocroc, he can develop this seed-cracking bill. Conical beak with internal husking ridges. So that makes him now, that gives him now the opportunity, the possibility to be a husker. And that is not bad. Okay, so what happens now? The next thing is adjust size. Okay, I think I won't change that. Population expansion. So now we will place another tent here. And then we can move away from here. Actually, we have to. And I will move here to the cycad trees. And, well, yeah, fine. I can live now there as a husker. Normally I would need this browse and these graze abilities. But because of this symbol, I can live there as a husker. Okay. And, wow, next turn. Let's see what we got. This is another immigrant. Well, we were lucky now. That would be a new genetic drift. So we have to discard a card from my hand. Luckily, there are no more cards in my hand now. And this is now actually here from the, let me see, from the Mesozoic. This iguanodont. They come from Asia, so they enter from the north. And, well, they have this size of 4, BGWA. So they simply can live here, in this maple hackberry woodland. And that's where they are. And now it's the last card of the Jurassic. Let's see what that brings. Well, that is simply a new DNA. And that is also interesting. Trunk, prehensile. Because this is for the head, actually. I could use this here, and then I would be allowed to go here to the polar forest. I had this browse option then. That would not be bad. On the other hand, I mean, we have to face the... This has only a 10. So if there comes a new biome, this will be the first one to go away. So I'm not sure if I really need this. Probably not. Okay. No, I won't buy that. I only have 3 genes left. I might need them for something better. Okay, and then we have, whoops, down here, adjust trophic and size, and there will be no changes here. Population expansion. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place a new one here. Well, actually I had an idea. I have this graze ability. So I will buy this gene, this trunk, because I place it here on the head of my ratite. And I can now migrate up here and then maybe even settle down here as a herbivore up there in the north, because then I fulfill the B and the G. Well, that's pretty cool. Okay, so well, I need some more. I need to cut some more of these tents. Okay, and now during the population expansion, I will place another one of these ratites here in these oak and beech woods, and then I move them. And because they have a size of 3, they can move up to 2 spaces. So they move now, well actually, they could, well one of them moves here to the polar forest. That is now possible because it has this B, and the other one moves 2, and that moves now here to the tropical rainforest, because now this one only feeds 1. This guy now moves here as a husker to the cycad trees, but because this only feeds all 2 and there are 3, one of them will now move simply as a husker here to the maple huckleberry woodland. And because this is a herbivore and that is a husker, there is no direct competition here. Okay. So, that's the end of the Jurassic. And this time I think we're doing better. I mean, we didn't made it further than in the last game, but I think it's more interesting, and the chances are better that we can survive this. We have now one additional genotype. We have a few DNAs here. So we have this Husker abilities. So I think this time the game was also much more interesting to watch. And well, let's see what the next ages bring. Maybe we have a chance there. Until then, bye.